Of course, again, as y'all are probably familiar, that provider portal, also known as the AHIN portal, or the Advanced Health Information Network, is that online tool for providers to submit the quality metrics via those certifications completed, as well as where you can retrieve and review your reports. Here is the link on the screen for where you can log in to obtain those, retrieve, and review those reports, as well as enter those metrics. You can also access this link via the paymentinitiative.org website, clicking on portal access. And you guys will have access to these slides and hopefully may have that link saved already. So just to review, as James just went over, the quality measures obtained from those portal entries. So again, by completing the certifications, those metrics are obtained, and one of the measures obtained by the portal entries is a percentage of valid episodes with a completed certification. And so in order to pass, as James mentioned, a minimum of 90% of valid episodes must have a completed certification. So again, these are the entries in which they can't be obtained from the claims data, so these entries are gathering this information. So another metric being used for tracking purposes for quality improvement opportunities is the percentage of episodes certifying the use of guideline concordant care, which, as we'll see in just a minute, is a question on the continuing care certification. Quality measures are obtained from completing either the quality assessment certification, which this is completed for each initial episode. So that's going to be a beneficiary newly diagnosed with ODD or new to the episode model, or completing the continuing care certification, which is completed if there's a repeat episode. And keep in mind, before completing the continuing care certification, ensuring that there has been a quality assessment certification completed during that initial 90 days. And again, in anticipation of needing continued care for treatment for that beneficiary with ODD, and completing the continuing care certification to capture those quality measures. So how are you going to indicate which certification you are completing? Somewhat new to the portal entry screen. On the bottom, you'll see which of the certifications below will be completed and included in the episode. So at that time, you can choose whether you're completing the quality assessment certification, the continuing care certification, or both of the certifications. So that's a newer version of that screen. So when you log in, you'll have this option, and then at that time when you choose which assessment you're completing, when you choose quality assessment certification, it will bring you to that assessment screen. And by completing the quality assessment certification, you're certifying that the beneficiary has been diagnosed with ODD kind of based on a face-to-face assessment in accordance with the DSM criteria, and it asks that you identify the number of symptoms. Most of them are yes or no questions other than identifying the symptoms. You're also certifying that comorbidities have been screened for and education and engagement with family or guardian has occurred. In addition to indicating efforts to obtain information on screenings for any language or learning disabilities. That's the quality assessment certification. And if you're choosing to enter the continuing care certification, this is the screen and the certification that's completed. So you're certifying, again, with yes or no questions, you're certifying ongoing assessment of the appropriateness of the ODD diagnosis based on symptoms, impairments, in addition to kind of re-screenings and continuing to rule out any comorbidities, continued engagement and education on family involvement with the family or guardians, and also documenting information obtained about screenings for language and learning disabilities. And then this also has the, again, capturing the information about providing guideline concordant care. So those are the certification screens. If you guys have any, my contact information, if you don't already have it, will be available via these slides. And so please reach out to me if you have any questions about retrieving or reviewing your reports or entering these portal entries. Please feel free to contact me at any time regarding those.
Thanks, Carrie. We're now going to turn our attention to the provider reports. And there are three aspects or three things we're going to look at today. I'm going to attempt to show or display how reports work within the performance cycle. And once I finish that, Paula Miller is going to share with us some of the details that you'll see inside the report itself. And then Dr. Miller is going to spend a little time about giving us some tips on how to read the reports as we go along. So, a performance period is always 12 months long. We divide the year into quarters, and as we see here, the ODD first year performance period is from April the 1st, 2014 to March 31st, 2015. So it just ended. And we see the 4 quarters there. Episodes duration is 90 days. So episodes that close in the first quarter of the performance year, that's where the end date is within April, May, or June of 2014, that will be a closed episode. Now, before, as we mentioned, before we can report to you whether or not quality measures have been met for those episodes have to wait through that 180-day remission period. So we've divided that into 2. Remission period 1, which would be, in this situation, July, August, and September, and remission period 2, which is October, November, December. Not only do we have to wait through the remission period, in every episode across the board, we have what's called a claims run-out or claims clearing period. This is to make sure any new claims or updated claims get through the system before we report on them. Once we wait the 180 days and the 90 days for the claims clearing, we can then report to you both the cost and whether or not quality measures have been met for the episodes that closed in quarter 1 of that performance period. So you can see that the quarter 1 report is actually being distributed or published to you the first quarter of the next performance period. The second performance period is in red. So, the quarter 1 report includes only the episodes that were in quarter 1. What about the episodes that ended in July, August, and September of 2014? Those episodes, just like the quarter 1 episodes, have to wait through the remission period 1, the remission period 2, and the claims clearing process, and then ultimately they can be reported to. So the report that you'll get July the 31st of this year will have episodes that have closed during quarter 1 and during quarter 2. Same thing happens for the episodes that ended in the third quarter of the performance period. That report will have closed episodes for periods 1, 2, and 3. And finally, the fourth report, or what we call the payment report, will include all 4 quarters and ultimately go to payment when you'll be notified of any gain share or risk share. So you can see the final report or the payment report will be published January the 31st of 2016. And you can see that where we are today, April in 2015, all the different activities that are going on. In fact, we've also entered a new performance period, and new episodes are closing every day. So, here we are today, or next week, April the 30th. We'll have Quarter 1 reports. You'll find that in your PAP report. You'll also find remission period 1 detail pages. You'll also see remission period 2 detail pages in the report. Now I'm going to turn it over to Paula Miller, and she's going to share with us some of the contents of PAP reports.
Good afternoon, everyone. The first performance reports for ODD will be out the end of April, which is just next week. What I want to show you today is some of the changes in the report. I think you will be pleased and find the changes in the reports helpful in managing your practice. Just like before, the report is divided into 2 sections. The summary section that provides you with data regarding cost and quality for your closed episodes, and the detail section, which allows you to look at your performance at a beneficiary level. Let's first review the summary report section. There are no changes to this section of the report, but I want to do a quick review of some of the important segments. The episode cost summary. There are several graphs and comparisons included in the cost summary sections that are useful in evaluating your performance. The overview section will give you the number of total episodes along with the number of episodes included and excluded from your report. The cost summary also includes the total cost of the provider's episodes, before and after adjustments, averaged episode cost, the distribution of episodes according to cost. This section also gives you comparison with other providers. On this page of the report, you will also find the quality measures summary. This will show your performance for quality measured linked to gain share, quality measures that are being tracked, and how well you are performing in relation to other providers. You will also find utilization measures, which are metrics detailing use of certain services and procedures in each episode. The key utilization metrics represent some drivers of the episode cost. For the ODD episodes, these utilization metrics are average number of family therapy visits per episode and average number of behavioral visits per episode. Okay. Where the changes are occurring for the April report is in the provider detail report section. While the design of the report is not changing, you may receive more detailed reports. It is possible to receive 3 different detailed reports, and we'll go over those in just a moment. First, let's review the elements contained in the detailed report. You will have the beneficiary's name, The quality measure indicator. When looking at this indicator, please remember the dates on the report. If you have entered the quality data in the portal after March 31st of 2015, it will not be reflected in this April report. Also, I just want to stress the importance of entering your portal data in a timely manner to ensure accurate reporting of your quality metrics. This indicator on your report can serve as a tool for you to use in making sure all your quality metrics have been entered in the portal. Also included on the detail page is the start and end date of the episode, the cost, both adjusted and non-adjusted, and the claims cost and counts by care category. Again, a useful tool in evaluating your costs down to the beneficiary level. So let's look at a list of the possible detail reports you could receive in April. First one is closed and remission period complete episodes. The second one is closed episodes in remission period 1 and closed episodes in remission period 2. Now let's look at the detail reports and the information contained in the report. The episode ID while blacked out in this example, your reports will contain a unique episode ID for this report only. These episode IDs will change with each report, so the episode ID you have for beneficiary X on your April report will be different for the same beneficiary on your July report. The patient name will be the beneficiary name. The quality metrics achieved indicates if this episode passed all the quality measures, both claims-based and portal entry. Because you have both in ODD, it has to pass both for this to say yes. Episode start and end date, that's the 90-day episode start and end date. The non-adjusted cost, that's the cost of all included episodes, all included claims in the episode before any risk adjustments. And cost is the cost of all included claims after risk adjustment. Note, there are no risk adjustments in the ODD episode. Now let's look at the care categories. In the care categories, you'll see the number of claims and the cost in each category. The initials IPFAC, that's your inpatient facility claims. You have IP professional, that's your inpatient professional claims. OP is your outpatient professional claims. OP surgical claims. And OP RAD is your outpatient radiology claims. You've got OP labs, that's any outpatient lab claims. ED, pretty self-explanatory, your emergency department claims, and of course your pharmacy claims. Other, that's any claim that does not fall into one of the above categories. Now, especially in behavioral health, we see the assessment claim in this category, so you will probably see a claim on there occasionally, and that will be your assessment. Again, I encourage you to use these reports to evaluate your performance as it relates to cost and to make sure you're meeting your quality measures by making sure this information has been entered in the portal.